Hi everyone, welcome back to class. In the previous class, we have seen what is a variable in Java and naming conventions, and along with that we have seen different data types in Java. So in today's video, we will see the sizes of those data types and the default values of the data types along with some examples. So on the screen you can see these are the data types, and these data types can be considered as primitive data types in Java. And now looking at the size in bytes, the data type byte is having the size 1 byte, where 1 byte is equals to 8 bits. And talking about the default value, the byte data type default value is 0. And here you can see example as byte, which is a data type followed by variable b, is equals to 10. And next data type is short, that is having the size 2 bytes and default value is 0. And the example is short followed by s, which is a variable, is equals to 1000. And next data type is integer, that is int, whose size in bytes is 4 bytes and the default value is 0. And the example is int, the data type followed by num, which is a variable, is equals to 50,000. And next data type is long, whose size is 8 bytes and default value is 0 capital L, where L represents the long data type. And the example is long followed by big num, which is a variable, that is equals to 1 lakh L. And next data type is float, whose size is 4 bytes and default value is 0.0f. And the example is float followed by pi, which is a variable, is equals to 3.14f. And the next data type is double, whose size in bytes is 8 bytes and the default value is 0.0d, where d represents the double data type. And then talking about the example is double, which is a data type followed by price, that is a variable, is equals to 99.99. And next data type is char, that is the character, whose size is 2 bytes and default value is backslash u, 4 zeros, which represent a empty character. Okay. And the example is char followed by letter, which is a data type, is equals to capital A, which is a character. And the next data type is boolean. And talking about the size, is typically 1 byte and the size of boolean depends on the Java virtual machine. And talking about the default value, the boolean default value is false. And example is boolean, which is a data type followed by flag, that is a variable, is equals to true. So here boolean can be having true or false, so you can define either true or false. So these are the data types, and these are the sizes of all these respective data types, and these are the default values, and these are the example. So here, and now let us try to write the Java code such that it should give us the default values of all these data types. And all these data types are called as primitive data types in Java. So let us try to write a code for finding out the default values of all these data types. So as I said, everything in Java is treated as object. So in order to write the code for finding out default values, at first we need to define a class. So the syntax is class followed by class name. So every letter in the class name will start with capital letter. So let the name be default values. So as we have two words here, default values. So first letter of each word starts with the capital. And inside it we need to define the, we need to declare all those data type along with their variables. So that is byte, variable will be b, next data type is short, variable is s, and the next one is int, variable be I, and next one is long, l, and next data type is float, variable be f, and next data type is double, variable be d, and next data type is boolean, variable is bool. So this is how we need to declare the variables. So we have not initialized any values to all these variables because we are going to find out are those default values. Suppose if we have initialized the values to it, then if we try to print it out, then it gives the values that we have initialized. But we are trying to find out default values, right? Now let us try to define a method so that when we call that particular method, it should give us all the default values of all the data types. So let the method be void, which is a return type. So it is not going to return anything. That's the reason we have given void, followed by method that is display defaults parenthesis. So we are not passing anything as parameters, right? Now here let us try to print all the default values. System.out.println b, there is a byte default value, and now copy it and paste here for all the default values. Okay, 5 6 7, right? So we need to take 7 times, right? And this first b represents the byte default value, and second we have to give s that represents the short default value, and here we need to give I that is gives us the integer default value, and here we need to give l that gives us the long default value, and here we need to give f that represents the float default value, and here we need to give d that gives us the double default value, and here we need to give us bool which gives us the boolean default value. Okay, so now we have defined a method in which we are trying to print all those default values of different data types. Okay, as I said, the execution of the Java code will start from the main function, right? So we haven't created the main method here, right? So now let us try to define a main method from where the execution of Java code gets executed. So the creation of main method, that is public static void main, inside parenthesis we have to give string args. Okay, now here what we have did, we have created the class default values, right? So in order to call this particular display defaults method, we need to create object for that particular class. So the we have created the class as default values, right? So using the new keyword, we have to create the object for that particular class default values. So the syntax is default values followed by object which is a reference variable is equals to new, that is to create the object we use new keyword default values. Now using this particular object that is obj which is a reference variable, we need to call that particular method that is display defaults, that is obj dot display defaults. Now try to execute it. See, now you can see here the first 0 is of default value of byte b, and the second one 0 is default value of short s, and the third one is default value of integer I, that is 0, and the fourth value is 0 which is the default value of long l, and the fifth one is 0.0 which is the default value of float f, and the sixth one is default value of double d which is 0.0, and last one is false which is the default value of data type boolean whose variable is bool. So this is how we need to write the code for printing the default values when we have not initialized any values to variables. Okay, next topic is type conversion. So what is type conversion in Java? So it is a process of converting a variable from one data type to another. So in Java we can see mainly two types of type conversion. One is type promotion, which is also known as implicit type conversion. So in implicit type conversion, the conversion of variable from one data type to another happens automatically by the compiler, and it is mostly applicable for a variable when you want to convert a smaller data type into a larger data type. And in this conversion there is no loss of data. And when you talk about the key points in implicit type conversion, the conversion can be done automatically by the compiler, and there we can see no loss of data when you try to convert a smaller data type into larger data type. And it is only applicable when you want to convert a smaller data type to larger data type. And here you can see byte to short. So byte is having 1 byte size and short is having 2 byte size. So byte is having smaller data size compared to short data size. So you can convert byte data type into short data type. In a similar way, short is having 2 byte data size and int is having 4 byte data size. So here short is having less data size compared to int data, right? So you can convert short into int implicitly without manual requirement. In a similar way, int is having 4 byte data size and long is having 8 byte data size. So int is having less data size compared to long. So you can convert int into long implicitly. In the similar way, float is having size 4 bytes and double is having size 8 bytes. So you can convert float into double by using implicit type conversion. Okay. Now let us try to write the code that defines the implicit type conversion. So here I have given the class name as implicit conversion, and this is the main method where the execution of Java code starts. So let us declare a variable int, which is a data type, and num is a variable that is equals to 100, that is a value we have assigned into num variable, and other data type is double, and the variable is dou, that is equals to num. So what we are doing here, in fourth line, int num equals to 100, so we are assigning 100 value into num variable that is of type integer. And in the fifth line you can see num, that is 100 value, is assigning into dou, which is a variable of data type double. So here integer is having data size 4 bytes and double is having data size 8 bytes. So we are converting integer data type into double type, where integer is having less data size compared to double. So here we are converting less data type into double data type, which is a type of implicit type conversion. So now let us try to print, that is system.out.println. Now we need to print double, right? Dou. Now execute it. See, now we have got 100.0, which represents the double value. So this is how we need to perform implicit conversion in Java. And the next type conversion is typecasting, which is also known as explicit type conversion. So in explicit type conversion, it requires a manual requirement. So this happens when you explicitly specify the conversion using casting. So when you want to convert one data type to another data type, then you need to mention the type in order to convert from one to another. And this is needed whenever you want to convert a larger data type into a smaller data type. And there may be a loss of data when you are trying to convert from larger data type to smaller data type. And when we talk about the key points, it is done manually using the type casting concept, and there may be chances of losing the data in explicit type conversion, and it is required only when you want to convert a larger data type into smaller data type. So here you can see double is getting converted into float, where double is having the size 8 data bytes, that is 8 bytes, right? And float is having 4 bytes data size. And in the similar way, long is having 8 byte data size and int is having 4 byte data size. So here long is having higher data size than int. So long is getting converted into int using the concept called explicit type conversion. In the similar way, int can be converted into short, where short is having 2 byte data and short is getting converted into byte, where byte is having 1 byte data. So this is how we need to perform explicit type conversion. Now let us try to write a Java code that defines the explicit conversion. So let us define a variable of type float. Float f is equals to 100.0 f. And next let us try to convert float into byte. That is byte b is equals to f. Now try to print it. System.out.println of b. Now try to execute it. See, you may get error. See, now it is giving the error that is cannot convert from float to byte, because float is having higher data size, that is 4 bytes, and byte is having data size 1 byte. So this is, here we are trying to perform automatic conversion, that is implicit type conversion. So but it is not possible here when you want to convert a higher data size into lower data size. So here we need to make use of explicit conversion. So as we are trying to convert a longer data type value into byte data type, it is not possible in explicit conversion. So here we need to make use of concept called typecasting, that is explicit conversion. So here we need to manually define byte data type, that is byte of f. Now here we are trying to convert float value into byte data type. So we need to make use of this manual typecasting, that is byte. So now here float value f gets converted into byte. Now let us try to print. It gives us the exact value. See, now we have got answer as 100. So this is how we need to perform explicit conversion. So explicit conversion is used when you want to convert a larger data size value into smaller data size value. And implicit type conversion is used when you want to convert a smaller or shorter data type value into longer data type value. So this is how we need to perform implicit and explicit type conversion in Java. So thank you for watching the video. Do like